Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We have a massive boxing card. This one I've been, I'm sure, like most of you guys, anticipating ever since it was announced. And even though the card has, changed and morphed a little bit since that first announcement, especially over the last week, it's gotten nuts. Regardless, we have some cracker fights. And for a boxing pay-per-view card, the structure, the way the Saudis, Turkey Al Sheikh, and every single other co-promoter on this card, the way they've structured it, like I said, is unheard of in boxing. As someone in myself who has only really deeply started to dive into boxing over the last few years, I just feel like the sort of fights that I've been exposed to, and then cards like this, it just feels like I'm spoiled because, like I've talked about before, the landscape in boxing, the whole structure of these cards, and even the fights that we, really wanted to see that didn't get made, that's all changing. And regardless what you think about the Saudis, their influence, they are delivering cards like this, which, like I said, is absolutely unheard of before. This quietly could be the best boxing pay-per-view card of all time. Let me know what you guys think. And I would love some further education on some of these fighters down this card because obviously I'm hyped for that rematch headlining the bill. Dmitry Bivol looking for some revenge against Artur Beterbiev in what was, in my opinion, the best boxing fight of 2024. That chess match, the sort of level that they were competing at, the give and take, the adjustments, it was a spectacle. And I can only imagine, like I said, the sort of adjustments that are going to go into a second fight after spending 12 rounds in the ring with each other. Can Beterbiev find the finish this time? Bivol is the only person that has ever dragged in the distance, which is a nut stat. And I think Beterbiev has some real adjustments he can make. And so does Bivol. But Bivol has to walk that tightrope again, man. And he cannot slow down in those later rounds. So there is a lot to play for, everything to play for in that main event. But looking down deeper, further down the card, it is so stacked. Like I said, even with the fights we lost. Parker Dubois is off. Daniel Dubois is sick. But in steps one of the most exciting heavyweights in the world at the moment. Martin Bakole, this guy is such a spectacle. Like George Foreman-esque, just 300 pounds. So big. Like the guy's 6'8" or something. He's just a huge human being. Just leans back from all of your punches. And the angles, his punch selection, like the uppercuts, his fight against Jared Anderson was beautiful to watch. Like the uppercuts he lands so George Foreman-esque in the way that they don't even look like they connect that hard. But you see on the slow-mo, the chin is snapped back. Like this guy carries some of the most natural power you'll ever see in the heavyweight boxing division, paired with, his feet aren't the fastest necessarily, but like I said, that punch selection, and he's really, really good at tracking you down and putting on pressure. Great chin, and really has that ability to get out of the way of the power of most shots. Even if he's eating shots, he's rolling with them, not taking them clean. He has an incredible frame. The question is, how much has he been training? Because he's taking this fight on 2 days' notice, and Parker has had probably the camp of his life. These guys have sparring history. It seems like Martin Bakole has sparring history with everyone. So this one I am so amped to watch because Bakole is someone who I really wanted to see get one of these big dogs at heavyweight. It's a little bit of a shame, the circumstances, and him having to do it on 2 days' notice. But he says he's ready. And I think stylistically this is going to be a crazy fight. Shakur Stevenson gets a new opponent. Pretty much a gimme, but it's going to be cool to see Shakur on the card as well. It was interesting to see at the weigh-ins today really getting in Padley's face, reminding him that this is my stage and you ain't ready for this yet, kid. Interesting to see that energy come out of Shakur, but he'd talk about defense. Just go back and watch Shakur Stevenson's fights. He will walk you down and not get touched. Like, I know there's a lot of hate on Shakur Stevenson, his matchmaking, and maybe his inability to find finishes sometimes, but in terms of the sweet science, technical boxing, that kid has it all, and really is a joy to watch if you can separate your bias. And then we haven't even spoken about Vergil, Ortiz Jr. and Madrimov. What a fight. Like, literally every single fight on this card could probably headline its own pay-per-view, and we get to see it all on one stacked card. It's going to be a huge broadcast. And like I spoke about earlier, guys, the names I haven't mentioned or, really delved into, please let me know who I should be keeping my eye out for. I know Hamzah, Sheeraz, really, really interesting fight. We have Callum Smith and Buatsi in an all-English clash. We have great fights all down this card, guys. And like I said, please let me know who I should be looking out for, because I'm, just fairly new in this game, but I absolutely love the sweet science and feel so grateful to be able to, ingest and take part in such a historic event. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you could like, comment, and subscribe, I would really appreciate that, and we will chat soon.